What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Quick Review Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about the GoPro Hero 9. We're going to be talking about what we love about it, what we hate about it, pretty much everything that we want to talk about it, and why I think it's the best action cam out there for fishing. Guys, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell as well, and leave some comments down below. Let us know you're new here. We loved hearing from you. I like to respond to everyone's comments except for those weird ones and those I'll sub to your channel if you sub to mine garbage. And I know you say that a lot, but it's garbage. Come on, grow up. Just start a conversation. If we're friends, I'll definitely subscribe to you. Moving on. GoPro Hero 9. This is the 9, this is my 7. 7 is still going to be used on my channel quite a bit, but this is going to be turned into a backup camera and a second viewpoint. We are going to be using this on the front of the kayak facing towards me, like you saw in the last video that we did. That was the GoPro 9 on there. And the reason why the GoPro 9 was on there is I'm not fully set up with the 9 to have a microphone yet. One of the downfalls of the 9, possibly. We'll get into it. Now the GoPro 7 has this little door here that I can plug in an external mic if I have this $50 accessory that plugs into the side of it. This door here on the bottom is where the battery goes for the GoPro 7. On the 9, that is all looped into one. So that is all under this door here. You got your battery and where you could plug in that external microphone thing, but you can't just plug it right in there. You have to get a new door to go on here to do so, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Now the other thing you could do, and what I did, I ordered the GoPro Media Mod case. So once I put the Media Mod case on here, I can plug the mic straight into the Media Mod case. I do not need any extra accessories, and it also has a mic built right into it that now with the GoPro 9 actually has a windshield for it, whereas the GoPro 8 did not have that, and that mic on the Media Mod case pretty much sucked. The one for the GoPro 9, I've watched a bunch of videos on it. It sounds okay, but we will still be getting an external mic. The other cool thing that we got on the way with that Media Mod is a brand new chesty. Now my old chesty here, the reason why it looks like this and has all this tape on it, and it's been like that since I got it, this is that little connection thing that I have to plug into my GoPro here so that I can run this microphone. I'm not gonna need all that now. I can actually get a microphone that clips right on top of the Media Mod case and use that. Or I can get a lavalier mic, and I'll probably still tape that up somewhere because I don't like the wires around. Because obviously, guys, my channel is fishing. So hook setting and just wire everywhere and hooks everywhere and all sorts of crazy stuff going on. I don't like wires hanging about. So there's a few options for me. I might end up with the Rode wireless microphone that can connect wirelessly straight to the GoPro, and that has a lavalier portion to it, which is great. I might use the mic that's on this camera that you're watching me on right now. We're gonna try out a few different things once the Media Mod case gets in. And we're also gonna try the microphone for the Media Mod case. I just have a feeling that when things are loud and windy, it's not gonna be great. But again, we're gonna go through some trials and tribulations here and really dial it in and figure out what works best for us. Because here on this channel, the audio means a lot. And if you're gonna just go out and get yourself a GoPro 9 and not hook up an external microphone, you're just doing yourself a disservice. I know Becca has this crazy windshield that's over her whole GoPro 8, and that has actually worked out really well for her. Her audio is pretty good. But again, in my opinion, I want to and have to have an external mic because I want crisp audio. I want crisp, clean audio, even out in the windiest conditions. The other day we were in like the windiest conditions ever, and even my lavalier mic was pissing me off. So let's quickly talk about one of the things I absolutely hate about the new GoPro 9. A lot of people will really be upset at the fact that the new batteries do not work in your old GoPros, and your old GoPro batteries won't work in the 9. Does that piss me off? Not really. If I'm going to have 2 cameras, I'm going to want 3 batteries per camera anyways. But here's what pisses me off. When I'm filming with a GoPro, I do not like plugging it in while I'm filming to an external battery pack. I've noticed a lot of issues with repairing files and all sorts of stuff getting screwed up when I have a battery pack hooked into my GoPro, charging my GoPro at the same time I'm filming. So what I've been doing now for the past couple years is I keep 2 batteries charging at the same time that I'm using my 3rd battery. If I got a second GoPro, I still would have bought 2 extra batteries for it so that I could have 2 batteries charging for each GoPro at the same time, because it actually works out beautifully. When one dies, it goes in, and by the time the next one dies, the first one that died is fully charged, and it's a great cycle, and that's what I've been doing for a while now, and it works out perfect. Here's the issue. This case is perfect. Why? Because it keeps the batteries all the way inside. I can push them all the way down, and I keep my batteries charging in this case just like so, with the battery backpack, and everything is hunky-dory in there. Those batteries don't go anywhere. This is the new battery case. The batteries are hanging out. They can easily get knocked out of place and stop charging easily. That's how deep it is. I can't even like my finger barely even fits in there. They're sticking out more than halfway, those batteries. That, to me, is obnoxious. That is my biggest gripe with the GoPro Hero 9 Black. That battery charger sucks. Why they didn't just copy what they've been doing? Even the Max has this type of battery charger. This is great because it keeps them all the way in. So if things are getting banged around, rarely do these batteries come out of their place and stop charging on me while I'm doing my fishing stuff. Let's be honest, we buy these because we are doing action stuff. This is not, like, GoPros aren't made to just like do cinematic things and be sitting around your house. Like, that's not what they're here for. They're here because we're running them ragged. These things are out in the elements every day. That's why they're waterproof. And in my opinion, the battery case that's charging your batteries should be just as rugged, not have your batteries flopping out all over the place. If I hit one bump, those things are coming flying out when I'm out in the ocean going on Joey's boat or something like that. So that is by far my biggest gripe. So in getting the GoPro Hero 9, I really enjoy the fact that if you get the subscription, it knocks $100 off the GoPro. Actually, if you get the subscription, it knocks $150 off the GoPro, but the subscription itself is $50. So basically you're saving $100 by subscribing to GoPro for a year. That gives you camera replacement, and in my opinion, the best part about it, 50%, up to 50% off everything in the store. So like all the accessories that you could go get at Walmart if you want, or Best Buy or anything like that, all of those are marked down. So all the accessories I've ordered, yeah, it takes a little bit longer. You have to wait. You're not going to get it day of, which in my opinion sucks because I'm like the type of person that like once I buy something, I want it in my hands. I hate waiting for shit. But to save as much money as I've saved going through the GoPro website because of subscribing to GoPro for the year is totally worth it. I've saved a ton of money. On the GoPro alone, $100, and then all the accessories, like the media mod case is marked down, way down. The new lens that I'm going to be getting, which we can talk about in a few minutes, is marked way down from $99 to like $70. That's almost $30 right there. So that is huge. If you guys are gonna get the GoPro 9, you have to get the subscription, or else you're doing yourself a disservice. The camera on this baby, 20 megapixels now. That's pretty dope. Now the GoPro cameras are not great. That's why we have this camera. I don't really take many photos with the GoPro, but now that I have a really sick camera on the GoPro, I might use it more often, especially doing maybe some underwater shots of some of the fish that we catch. That could turn out real nice. This thing does 4K 60 frames per second, which is great. You can still slow that down and make it pretty crispy for your B-roll if you want, or like when you're releasing a fish or catching a fish, something crazy happens. The cool thing about 4K is you can zoom in without losing much quality. Now, I don't film in 4K. My computer is so old, it doesn't really have the storage. It really cannot handle 4K. This thing now does 5K, 5 freaking K. Now the good thing about this, even though like none of the platforms out there are in 5K, the cool thing about it is that you can use the 5K and then again zoom in and not lose any quality. So if something happens that's a little bit further away that you want to zoom in on, you're not going to lose much quality at all, which is really cool. So once I upgrade my computer, I can actually start putting that to the test. And it does the 5K at 30 frames per second. Now it does 1080 at 120 frames per second, which is buttery smooth. So if you're going for a really cool release of a fish, or you're going for, you know, you just want to do some super slow-mo action stuff, that is crazy. And it's also doing 240 as well, but it has to be in certain settings. 240 frames per second, and that's just like bonkers slow. Like super crazy. Unnecessary almost at this point, for what I'm doing at least. This baby can dive down to depths of 33 feet. Now when we get the new lens on here, we're going to cut that in half. So right now it runs 10 meters deep, which is 33 feet. It only can go 5 meters deep with the new lens that we're going to be getting for that. Now the new lens that you can just take this lens off and pop the new one on, it is called the Max Lens mod. If you haven't watched any videos on the Max Lens mod, it's unfreaking believable. Now, right now, this GoPro has the Hyper Smooth 3. This one has Hyper Smooth 1, and it's great. It's super smooth when I'm running and stuff and doing crazy stuff bouncing around. It's way smoother than any GoPro I've ever used. Becca has the 8. That one's even smoother. This 9 has the Hyper Smooth 3.0, and I've only used this thing a little bit, but it is incredible how smooth it is. And it also has a horizon lock. It's almost like having a built-in gimbal. But when we put that new lens on here, the Max Mod lens, I can literally take my GoPro and do this. And it's going to be keeping the horizon the whole time. The whole time. So I can take my GoPro, shove it under the water upside down, but it's going to be facing the right way. I'm not going to have to do anything in post-production to make it flip back the right way. It's going to keep that horizon locked. Even if the GoPro's like this, it's going to be looking just flat on the horizon. In super view too. Super wide angle. Anything you do, you can watch videos. They're comparing the two of them. You'll go like this, and like this, and like this, and like this. And you'll see this one flipping around, and this one will just stay locked on the horizon the entire time. That's bonkers. And right now it does a pretty good job at it too. I could go back and forth like this and it's going to keep the horizon locked. I can't go fully upside down or anything like that yet. Not until we get the Max Lens mod. So it does have live streaming at 1080p, so you can connect this to your phone and do live streams onto YouTube, Facebook, or whatever it is, which is great because we're going to be doing a lot of those, I think, this winter when we're fishing a little bit less. Because we're going to be working 7 days a week through the first half of the winter. That's actually going to be starting real soon for me. I do have some crazy news coming up. We're going to have a whole episode on all the crazy things happening in my life, but that's neither here nor there today. We are just going to be talking about this today. So it still has the voice control, which is great. When I was on the kayak doing my comparison of the Guggen Squad Lunker Log to the Gary Yamamoto Senko, when I had these paired up, this one was on my chest the whole time. This one was at the front of the yak, way out of reach. And all I had to say was, GoPro start recording, GoPro stopped recording, and they were turning on and off at the same time, which is huge. Not having to get up and mess with your camera when it's on the other side of the kayak, that's freaking great. Now they've had that for a while, but the technology seems to really be dialing in at this point. Another cool thing about this, it has a scheduled capture. Now, I don't know if I would use that much because of what I do, but like say I wanted to get the sunrise. I could set this thing up, have it set for when the sun is gonna start poking up, and walk away and do other things, like when we're ice fishing. That could be huge. And it'll just turn on when it needs to, take the shot that it needs to take, and turn off, saving a ton of battery life. Will I use that much? Probably not. But is it there for you, especially for people that need that kind of stuff? Yeah, and it's a great option. The other thing both of these have, and most GoPros have, is a thing called looping mode. Now, looping mode is freaking huge. I learned about it a while back from Captain Dave Schneider down in Florida, and he actually learned about it from the one Guggen that we cannot stand. So I'm not even going to mention his name. But basically, what looping mode does is when you're filming, especially something like fishing, where you're going to be filming for a while sometimes and not have any action, and then say it's been an hour since you caught your last fish. When you catch your next fish, you hit stop, and it only saves the last 20 minutes, 5 minutes. You can set it for an hour, and I think you can set it for like 120 minutes, something like that. And then there's also like a max now. I don't know what any of that is. I do 20 minutes because that saves a ton of memory on my SD cards, and it saves a ton of time when I'm editing. So every time I catch a fish and release it, I hit stop, and it only saves the last 20 minutes. So if I was recording for 40, I only get 20 minutes worth of footage to go through after. That is huge. What if you forget to press stop? You still have that 20-minute window. Some people only do the 5-minute. I don't know how they do it. The other reason why I do 20 is sometimes I say something really stupid or actually awesome before I catch, or before something crazy happens, like predicting something. And when I have 20 minutes saved, I can actually go back and take what I said back 15 minutes before the catch and use it. Whereas if I use the 5-minute looping mode, you only get 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes to like deal with the fish. So that's, again, like an albie. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes to reel the damn things in. I want all of that footage, so 20 minutes works perfect for fishing for me. So the batteries in these things, they're new, and you can't use the old batteries in this, but the good thing about them is they have 30% more power. Now, one of the reasons why I think they did that is because of this screen right here. That screen right there is going to take more power because now you can actually see yourself on the screen. That is huge, folks. Like that's amazing. So if you don't have a big camera like this and you're only using your GoPro to like start out vlogging, you can get the media mod case. You can put the exact microphone that I have on my big camera on that media mod case. You can even put a light on that media mod case, have everything hooked up, and use it just like I do this. And if I was to do that, I would set it in a different ratio. I would not use a super view. I wouldn't use the wide angle for any of my vlogging stuff. I would set it to like just the linear and go at that, because then it's going to look more cinematic. It's going to look better. And then you could use your super view for when you're doing your action stuff, so you capture more of the moment. And that's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. You can do whatever the hell you want, whatever you think works best for you, because that's why we call it YouTube and not somebody else's tube. All right. And speaking of that, I've had many people try and force their opinions on me over the years. One of which, I won't even talk to the kid anymore because he's such a garbage human, and all he does is naysay other people. So I was rudely interrupted by my SD card filling up. I still have like 3 days worth of footage on here right now because we've been just cranking videos lately. So I had to dump a little bit of it onto the computer, and now I'm just gonna wrap this baby up. But as I was saying, there's a person that was always naysaying and then going out and doing exactly what he would naysay being really passive aggressive. We don't even pay attention to that anymore. We don't even, see you later. Now we just do us, because it's our tube. So that's one of my biggest pieces of advice that I can give you guys if you're starting out your YouTube channel. Granted, like, you're looking at a channel that's still nice and small. Like, we're not a big channel by any means. We are now making some money on YouTube. This is the best month we have ever had with growth, with revenue, with watch time, literally everything. And I have you guys to thank for that. And I'm just being me. That's what's getting me where I am, is just being me. And I also have some really crazy news that I'm going to be dropping here pretty soon. And I know I mentioned that earlier, and I'm not going to hint to anything, but it might have something to do with yesterday's video. So if you want to go watch that, we'll leave it linked above. Yeah, it's probably the stash. I think it's the stash that's getting everything done. As soon as we got the mustache, like, everything just seems to be better in life. I digress. This thing's a powerhouse. This is the best action cam out there on the market right now, especially once we get that max lens on here. The fact that we could literally do somersaults and cartwheels and it's gonna stay on the horizon, it's gonna change the game for a lot of people. Like, the shots that you're gonna be able to get are gonna be unlike anything you've ever seen, because everything's gonna be so much smoother. There's gonna be no rattling around and craziness and all that jerky motion that we used to get in the old GoPros. And even still with this one and with the Hyper Smooth 1, which works so well, this one makes it look like child's play. Child's play. I'm extremely impressed. Now, you've seen a couple clips going through while I've been talking. Some of the clips from Becca's boat, the catches, the picture quality is just so beautiful. And we're only filming in 1080. We're only filming in 1080. The shots from the kayak are incredible. We're bouncing around doing all sorts of stuff, and it is just smooth as butter. I'm in love with this thing. But the clip that made me want to do this review is when I was releasing that striped bass. Becca was in the water when I released it, holding this camera in her hand, not even on anything, literally just like this. She put it under the water, and when I released, she ran after the striper, almost falling over the whole time, running at full speed, and it looks like it's on a freaking gimbal under the water. That blew my freaking mind. I didn't even put it in slow-mo. Usually if I want smooth footage, I have to use slow motion. That even goes for my big camera here, because I can only, record in 60 frames per second. And when you're holding stuff, like, just with your hands, if it's not on the gimbal, like, it's a disaster. You can see the handshakes. You can see none of that. It was so smooth. We're going to play that for you right now. So that's it, guys. Those are the reasons why I think that the GoPro Hero 9 Black is the best action cam out there on the market for us fishermen. If you're looking to start a YouTube with fishing, this is the camera you need to get. If you're looking to upgrade your old GoPro 7 or even your 8, it's an upgrade to the 8, which is a freaking fantastic camera. If you still have an old 4 or 5 or 6, like, and you're looking, if you're in the market, if you can spend that $350, you have to get this. And then with the money you save getting the GoPro subscription, you can get yourself a couple new batteries to go for it. And the case that I freaking hate for the batteries, the little charger there, that thing sucks. Go splurge. If you were thinking about it, my opinion is you gotta go do it, because this thing is a goddamn powerhouse. Once we get this thing strapped up with a media mod case, which should be arriving any second, I might even show it to you, but I do need to get this video out, so I'm going to start editing it, and if it comes, we'll do some talking about it real quick. With the media mod case on here, with the max lens, this is going to be one of the best cameras I own. And I'm talking to you on Canon 90D. This GoPro is phenomenal. And if you need one, if you've lost one, you want to upgrade, if you just want a second camera, I would get this one to be on you, or even get this one to do your underwater footage and all this footage around you, and use this one to stay on your chest. Either way, it's going to work out great for you. Leave your channel's link below if you want. Leave some comments link below. I'd love to see what you're doing. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love each and every one of you. If you're new here, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell as well, so you're notified. We're dropping videos literally every single weekday, sometimes on the weekends, and I'd love for you to be notified when we do so. Other than that, we'll catch you tomorrow. We got a killer video coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned and fish out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It has been delivered. I'm gonna go get it, and we'll talk about it before I start editing, because I literally just stopped and then all of a sudden, delivered. Let's go get that Media Mod case and test out the audio on it real quick. We'll show you what's up. There it is. Media Mod case. If you're getting a GoPro 9, and you're doing fishing and you're doing stuff outdoors in the wind and the rain and all that stuff, you gotta get the Media Mod case. It's a must. If you want your audio to not suck, it's a must. Now, the audios on the GoPros have gotten much better over time, but they're still not great. One of my lights just ran out of battery. So, let's go ahead and get this thing on the GoPro, and we'll test it out real quick for you. Here we have the new Media Mod case. That's gonna make a GoPro that's already pretty big even bigger. Like, it's the 7 here, and this is gonna be what everything together looks like. So you gotta take the door off, and this baby's just gonna slide right on in there, plug right in. And that's gonna shut, just like so. These little magnetic babies pop right back out as usual. I like this feature a lot. These can like go away and pop back up. It really making you not need another case, but then obviously you gotta get this. So microphone mount there, that is the microphone, and then this clips right onto it, just like that. So finally, the Media Mod case now has a wind screen. So this is gonna sound way better than the microphone on the 8's Media Mod. But the other cool thing is right here in the back, these doors open up with all the ports that you need. The old 3.5mm spot for an external microphone. So we can take the microphone that's on there right now and put it right there. So to finish this video, why don't we do just that? Let's test this baby out. Well, here we are on the GoPro with the mic attached. I don't know what this is gonna sound like, but I'm pumped. This is the external mic right now. I'm gonna unplug the external mic, and then we're gonna get the mic that's on there, so we can kind of compare the two in post-production, so you guys can hear it. And this is gonna be raw. I'm not gonna edit it at all. I might have to turn the level down a little bit, but we'll see. I took the dead cat off of this because, yeah, see, so the dead cat looks like a weird hat for me. So if I do put this on the GoPro, I had to figure something out with the dead cat. For live streams and whatnot, when I'm indoors and there's no wind, this is what it's gonna look like. So really, really, really pumped about that. We're also in higher resolution right now, so we'll see what that's like when I go to edit and import this. I think it's gonna just import it in 1080 anyways. We will see. So this is with the Rode mic on top, the Rode Mic Mini. And I'm gonna unplug the Rode Mic Mini, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Or see what it sounds like, I should say. All right, so this is it. Without the mic plugged in, just the Media Mod case on, and we're pumped. I'm gonna jiggle this thing around like crazy so you guys can kind of see how smooth things are. This is without the Max Mod lens thing. This is like literally just jerking around and being a fool. And the audio. So that's that. I'm gonna sign out. This review has gone way too long. Guys, thanks for tuning in. love you all. So pumped to put this thing to the test tomorrow. I'm just going to strictly use the medium mod case tomorrow. It's going to be windy, and we're going to see what it sounds like. See you later, guys. Fish out!
Dump finna jump for the shit. All top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line with your fall through with the nightsticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got nowhere else to go. It's only up from there. I've been on my own, just running through the fields. Hey, visit for the